slope of a line is a number that measures its steepness. It also characterizes the direction of the line. It is determined by the rise over the run between 2 points. Lowercase m is used to represent the slope of the line. Slope m is equal to rise over run, or it's equal to change in y over change in x. So dito, y coordinates ang nasa numerator at ang x coordinate naman ang nasa denominator. So m is equal to the rise over run. The rise on the horizontal way, and then the rise is the vertical change. So there, when you count the number of units, the square, you have 6, negative 6, the rise, and 6 is the run. And negative 6 divided by 6 is negative 1. So why this graph has a negative slope? Since we solved that m is equal to rise over run, and we got negative 6 over 6, or this is equal to negative 1. The answer is because the graph of the line goes downward as x increases. This graph really has a negative slope. So slope is equal to rise over run. So let's take another point. Point A and point B. So when you count the number of units, the horizontal change is 2 units and the vertical change is 2 units. So that is negative 2 over 2. This is simply equal to negative 1. So the answer is yes, it has a negative slope, so m is negative 1. So the slope of a line is constant throughout any segment on the line. So even you choose any of other points on the line, and when you solve it by taking the horizontal change and the vertical change, the slope is the same all throughout the line. So remember, if the slope is positive, the line goes upward as x increases. So this is how it looks like. Like that you are climbing upward. If the slope is negative, the lines goes downward as x increases. And this is how it looks like. It's like that you are sliding down. Horizontal lines have a slope of 0. Why? Because there is no rise. This is all run. So if the graph is only shows a run or the horizontal change, that is 0 slope. While the vertical lines have undefined slope. So undefined means you cannot define it. So, there is no horizontal change, only a vertical change. So, let's find the slope of the line given at 2 points. So, slope of the line is equal to rise over run, or equal to change in y and change in x. So, m is equal also to the change in y over change in x. And mathematically speaking, that will be y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So let's have example. Find the slope of the line that passes through point E, 5, negative 2, and point B, negative 1 and 4. So, let's have the solution. So, first, let's identify the x sub 1 and the y sub 1, and the x sub 2 and the y sub 2. So, we substitute to the given equation y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So y sub 2 is 4, that is from point B, minus negative 2, which is the y sub 1 on point E, over negative 1, which is the x sub 2 of point B, minus 5 of x sub 1 of point E. Then we perform the operation. Since negative times negative, that will give you a positive sign on the plus sign. So 4 plus 2 over negative 1 minus 5. So the answer is 6 over negative 6, or simply negative 1. So let's have example number 2. Find the slope of the line that passes through point B, 3, 0, and point A, 1, 2. So, again, we have to identify the x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. But this time, I have chosen the first point as x sub 2, y sub 2, or point 2, and my second point A will be my point 1, x sub 1, y sub 1. So, let's substitute it now. In the formula, m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So, y sub 2 is 0 from point B, minus 2 from y sub 1 on point A, over 3 from x sub 2 of point B, minus 1 of x sub 1 from point A. So, 0 minus 2 is negative 2, and 3 minus 2 is 2. Negative 2 over 2 is equal to negative 1. So, it shows that even I have taken the first point as x sub 2, y sub 2, and the second point as point 1, the answer will be the same. But this time, you have to make sure that when you take x sub 2, you have to take also the y sub 2 on that given. So let's find the slope of the line given an equation. So slope-intercept form of the equation is equal to y equals mx plus b. So where y is the variable, m is the slope, x is the x variable, and b is the y-intercept. So let's have example 1. X plus y is equal to 3. So we're going to change this to y is equal to mx plus b. So it's easy for us to identify the slope and the y-intercept. So x plus y is equal to 3. So by addition property of equality, we subtract x on both sides. So that will become x minus x plus y is equal to negative x plus 3. So negative x minus x plus y is equal to negative x plus 3. So x minus x is 0. So on the left side of the equation, y will remain. And negative x plus 3 will be on the right side of the equation. So the m here is negative 1 since we have negative x. And b is equal to 3. So example 2, 3x minus 4y is equal to negative 6. So let's have y is equal to mx plus b. So in 3x minus 4y is equal to negative 6x. So we subtract 3x on both sides. So 3x minus 3x, that will become 0, and negative 4y will remain on the left side. Then on the other side, it will be negative 3x minus 6. So negative 4y is equal to negative 3x minus 6. So this time we have the coefficient negative 4 on the y, and we have to make it only for y alone, y variable alone. So we divide it with negative 4, so we eliminate it, and that will become only y. Because negative 4 over negative 4 is equal to 1. And we have to divide also on the right side of the equation to make it equal. So y is equal to 3x over 4 plus 3 halves. How do we get 3 halves? We simplify 6 over negative 4. And since negative times negative, that will give you a positive. So the slope is 3/4 and the y-intercept or b is 3 halves.